Hey folks, Charles again here at Shop Style Design, and welcome back to another training video. And in this video we are going to be learning how to use your theme editor in your Shopify admin. So once you get logged into your admin, we're going to go down the left hand side under Sales Channels, and we're just going to give Online Store a click. And again, that's going to create a drop down that you're going to see here, but by default it's going to land on the first one, which is the one that we want to deal with today. So once you get on the themes section of your admin here, we're going to see a couple sections here. You're going to see your current theme, which is the one that's currently published and viewable to the customers, and that's essentially active. And if we scroll down a little bit here, we're going to see your theme library, which are it's a list of themes that you have installed to your store but isn't currently active, which means you can work on the background and customers wouldn't see it until you decide to make it published. But for today we are going to just be dealing with our current theme. So once we click on this blue button here, the Customize button, and that will take us into our theme editor. And once we get this loaded up, you're going to see on the right hand side here is going to be the preview of what the theme looks like, and then the left hand side is your theme editor tools, so you can change different sections of the theme. You can update the logo. These are all going to be different areas of the theme that we can work on. So for now we're going to start on the sections. So if we click on header, that's going to create a drop down here, and you're going to see basically it's going to start from the very top and work its way down. So the announcement bar, you can see that's going to control this little guy up here, and we can adjust whether we want it bold, we want to insert a link. And this theme will allow for that. So typically this is used for, let's say you had a promo like free shipping or something along those lines. That would be a good place for that. And then moving down, we have the top bar, which is going to be this section. We say we want to show the social media header icons, which will pull the URL links from the settings for the social media that you've set. We will get into that momentarily, but that is just going to tell the theme that we want those icons to appear in that bar. And again, we include the phone number. Now this here, the select menu, that's going to allow you to choose a navigational menu that you've created. Let's say you wanted just a very small menu included in this top bar. That is where you can do that. And again, moving down, we want to show the cart. We can say, do we want it as a bag, which you'll see reflected here, or do we want the actual cart? And you'll see that the theme will be updated there, but we're going to leave it as the cart. This is where you can upload your logo. It will tell you a recommended size. We do suggest going with that size just to ensure the best quality for your logo. And then you can also adjust the logo width as well. And you do have the optional logos for mobile and secondary logos, so that so you have different versions of it, a darker version, a lighter version. You can upload those as well. And then our menus. Our menus are going to be this section here. So we're essentially saying in this top area, we want to pull the main menu that we created in our navigational section, which we will get into another video. And so any assets that are added in there, any drop downs that you've created, will be pulled and shown there. And you do have the option of selecting a secondary menu as well. And then moving down, you can see that yeah, we want to show the search, vertical menus instead of the pop-out that you're seeing here. If we were to enable that, that's going to create these just single drop downs here, but we will just leave it what we had before. And then the other sections here are just more or less adjusting your logo and your menu position. So that's it for the header section. Now the next set of sections here, these are going to be different sections that we want on our store. So in this case, you're going to see, we'll just go back here. This is going to be our slideshow, which will control the image that we add, any overlays with text. We want to create buttons. That will control that section there. And then moving down, this is a very standard content section that you can add, and then you can get right down to adding collections and different areas and products and whatnot to the actual storefront. But I will show you how to create a, my apologies for that. So I will show you how to create a section here, which is fairly straightforward. So for the time being, what we're going to do is I'm just going to get rid of one section just because right now we have all 25 of 25 sections added, but we'll get rid of this section just to kind of give you an idea here. So as you can see, we have all these different sections already added, but if we wanted to add a section at the very bottom, we're going to look for this area here, and we're going to add section, and these are going to give you all the different options that this theme allows for as far as sections go. So we can add things, we can add a section that pulls blog posts that we've created. When it gets to, we can list the collections, we can list a specific collection, in this case a featured collection. Custom HTML is essentially a page that you can add your own custom code to, then and have the system pull to show there. You have your search area, so like if you wanted your search bars, so customers can search within your store, that's available there. Images, so you can have featured promotions, a gallery, right down to logos and an additional slideshow. And then your layout is going to be essentially a divider, so you can add space between sections, or you can add a single horizontal line that will go across and also separate. And it's a very robust theme, so we've added a lot of different sections that give you more flexibility to be able to add things that maybe would be a little bit more robust, I guess, than the standard Shopify themes, so you have more to work with. And then again, it goes down right down to you can add products, a newsletter section, which is the one that we removed at the bottom, and then right down to social media feeds and so on. So you can see that we've tried to add almost all sections to kind of give you an idea of which each of those sections would look like. So you can see this is pulling from our Instagram accounts or social media feed. These are going to be testimonials, and you can add your own images. It'll pull the actual text and whatnot that they've written, which is really handy. This is your blogs section right here, and then additional slideshow. This would be the logo list, and then we've also added in, if customers kind of been going through, they can see recently products that they've viewed, right down to a featured product, and so on. So that's it for the section part of the theme. And then our last section here before we move on to the theme settings is going to be our footer. So this is going to really break it down to, do you want to add copyright text? Do you want to show the theme designer credits, payment methods, and then we can add different sections, such as in this case we added a logo. You can add a newsletter section. You can add another menu, some content from a page that you've created, just standard text, or just an empty column. So in this case, we got 3 columns. We have our shop style logo with our social media icons below it. We have 2 columns. One, our customer care, kind of pulling the menu that we've created. That's just your basic customer care sections. And then we got our resources, which our customers can see, like shipping and return policies, privacy policy, terms of service. Now, you don't have to set it up this way. We've always set it up this way to make things easier, because typically customers do look for these specific sections in the footer. But totally your preference. And then again, we have our store credits at the bottom here, and we certainly do appreciate repping us, but again, that is there to be removed if you do prefer. So that's it for the sections area of the theme editor. And then moving on, we're going to go to theme settings. So theme settings is essentially the meat and potatoes of the theme. So how the theme works, what your color scheme is. You can adjust your typography, your fonts, anything along those lines. Do you want to have mega menus, which are essentially multi-drop-down navigational menus? Do you want to show your search icon at the top right? Right down to showing currency conversions, how your cart works. Favicon is essentially the icon like you're going to see in your tab of your browser at the top left of it. That is what you can set that as. How your checkout works, how it looks, and setting your social media URLs as we stated before. So as these are filled in, that will create social media icons that will appear here if you have them enabled to be shown. The other thing's cool too is if you want to see specific pages, there's this handy drop down here, and you can say, I want to see what the blog posts look like, and it should take you to that section to give you a preview, so you can always kind of see it real time. And then if we go across the top here, we can see what the mobile view will look like versus a desktop. And this is just more so give you a bigger view of it as if they were actually visiting the storefront. So moving down to the bottom left, you can see if you scroll down, you can change the theme style. In this case, there's only one style of theme, so this has been grayed out. It will give you the version number, what the theme's called, and then there are handy links here where you can read documentation on the theme if you want to learn more, or if you do want to get support from us, this is a direct link for that as well. And moving down to the bottom left, you're going to see theme actions. So this will create a drop down where we can either preview the theme, which is essentially going to open up a window as if you were viewing it like a customer, and you can see what it looks like on the desktop. Edit code, this will take you into the actual area if you're comfortable with adding code, removing code, modifying code. That will take you into the code section here, which I'll just open up to Kin and give you an idea. And it'll give all your code templates. And there's quite a bit of code here. So again, if you're not comfortable with code, we don't recommend messing about with it. We can get into this more with you if you reach out to us, and we can get into it. But yeah, for the most part, if you're not comfortable with it, we do suggest leaving that alone. We're going back here, and then the last section here is edit languages. So this will bring you into the languages section of your theme admin, and this is just more so how do you want things to be said. So if we were to go to, let's say, collections, when someone visits, let's say, a collection page, do we want it to say collections or do we want it to say categories? So you can kind of change the wording and verbiage in these sections here, and just make sure once you do change them that you do save them to have it reflected in your theme. And that is it essentially for the theme editor. Again, if you have any questions in terms of any of the theme edits, the theme editor itself, or modifying code, anything along those lines, do feel free to reach out to the shop style team, and we'll be happy to dig into it for you.